And it is my pleasure to turn this over to Sean. So, Sean, the show is yours.
Hello. Thank you very much, Shanda, and thank you for the pre-show kind of entertainment there as everybody was joining. We're going to have a few individuals talk to you tonight about the Founders Day Challenge. We're excited about it to give you a little bit more details. In about a minute here, Sydney and Christian are going to go over a couple of our slides and talk a little bit about what the challenge kind of means to them and talk about our goal that we have for the challenge. I'm going to give you the boring stuff in the middle. Hopefully we get through that quickly to give you some of the basics of the leadership funds and the how to help you raise money. And then at the end, it'll be kind of the fun part. We're going to do the demo of the website. So many of you probably have already worked on it. Some of you may not have worked on it before. So we'll do that at the end, and we'll open up for questions. So once again, I'm Sean Gregory. I'm the vice chair of the Delta Sigma Leadership Foundation, and I'm going to turn it over to our two collegians of the year. If I can get the next page to go. There we go. To Sydney and Christian, I'll turn it over to you for the next couple slides.
All right, Sean, thank you for that. I'm going to let Sydney, ladies first, I'm going to let Sydney take it away first, and I'll just hop in right after.
Hello, everyone. It's so exciting to be here with all of you tonight and to kick off our starting to talk about the Founders Day Challenge. My name is Sydney Sampson Webb. I'm your 2023 Collegian of the Year, and I'm so excited to co-chair this with Christian, and we'll get into exactly what we're co-chairing here. So what is Yeah, you can go.
Oh, no, I just was going to say, hey, everyone, I'm Christian. Very excited. I'm seeing some similar faces from Chicago this past lead school, but very excited to really get this fundraiser underway. So go ahead.
Yeah, so what is this Founders Day Challenge? It's a peer-to-peer fundraising campaign that runs November 7th through the 8th, and it celebrates 116 years, believe that, of our brotherhood. And we try to raise money for different chapter leadership funds and also the annual fund. So this fundraiser directly helps you and your chapters out when it comes to attending national events, bringing in really cool, neat speakers, and just raising funds to have the best Delta Sig experience.
Right on. And to just piggyback right off of that, for those of you that went to the Chicago Lead, I kind of spoke about this briefly as well. But again, this fundraiser, we want to make sure it's on not specifically for our collegians, or for our collegians to specifically donate. If you can, by all means, please do. But again, we understand you're in college, you're going day to day by the ramen. I've been there, done that. We want to make sure that you reach out to that applicable alumni and the companies and other leaders in your community to really help gather these or accumulate these funds for your chapter. Okay. We want to make sure that we're targeting those generous individuals that are able to help us move forward, and that you're not just scraping the bottom of the barrel with your own pockets.
Now, what is our fundraising goal for this year? It's $116,000, which is a bit more than we raised in total last year. So setting the standards high and hoping to achieve this with the help of all of you on this call and across the nation.
Absolutely. And if for those of you that are really paying attention, the $116,000 correlates with 116 years of Delta Sigma Pi. So we're kind of hitting home right now with this specific goal. Again, we'll get into the details of everything moving forward. I did just want to bring this up. One of the people on the Zoom, I believe right now, Kristen, are you here? I believe so. You can make it a little emoji. But she actually sent me an email. I was reading this just before I hopped on, thanking all of the people that donated to her chapter leadership fund earlier today or earlier last year. And it made me smile. And I'm assuming all the other people that donated to her chapter that also got it made them smile as well. She made it very personal, and I can assure you I'm going to be donating back to her chapter again this year just because of the email. So little things to keep in mind.
Well, thank you, Christian and Sydney, for that. We raised $108,000 last year, so our goal is to increase it the $116,000 for the 116 years of brotherhood. We want to even go higher than that, but our first goal is to try to get to 116. I think we can do it. And the things you learn from this seminar should help you enhance your efforts in fundraising. So what are chapter leadership funds? So they are chapter specific accounts within the Delta Sigma Pi Leadership Foundation, and they're created to receive charitable gifts restricted to your specific chapter. Now, this is a new, fairly new, I keep saying it's new, but it's been a few years since the foundation created all these funds for all the different chapters, which allows alumni or brothers to donate specifically to your chapter through the foundation, and they would get credit through the foundation of giving, and that could possibly be tax deductible to them if they can itemize on their taxes as well. And so that's what the chapter leadership fund is. What is it used for? So the biggest part of the foundation of the fund is used to go to lead schools, lead provinces, the schools, Grand Chapter Congress, President's Academy. Those items where you're attending a fraternity event that helps defray the cost to get there. Your travel, your car rental, your airline, your hotel, the registration fees, and about actually almost all, probably 90 to 95% of the chapters that request money for this specific purpose. You can also use it to cover a cost associated with professional or personal developmental speakers, workshops. If you go on a field trip or a business trip and there's costs associated with that, you can as well, get money back from your chapter leadership fund. But for the most part, the people have requested money has been from travel to different fraternity events. Because we want as many members of your chapter to attend these events, because I think it's a positive event. There's networking, social aspects, the fraternity knowledge you gain, and then also it's kind of fun to go to a new city, to travel somewhere else. I know when I was a brother, when we went to Tallahassee. I'm living in Tampa, Florida, 4 hours up the road to Tallahassee. Never been to Tallahassee before. We went there. Chapter leadership funds didn't exist then, but that would have been nice to help us cover the cost of us going to an event in Tallahassee. So why should you participate, or why should people, or how can you participate in the challenge? Well, one is make a gift. Christian talked about giving, and not necessarily we want the chapter members to give, but if you can, that's another option to do. But make a gift to the fund. The biggest thing I think for collegiate members is to make sure you register as a participant, and we're going to get into that a little bit more detail as we go along in the webinar here, to talk about how you do that and how you get others from your chapter to do that. And then the third one is join a team, and we're going to talk more in detail about that as well. The biggest thing about joining a team is that the teams for all the chapters are already set up. So this is the third year we've done this online giving campaign. The first year we didn't set up the teams at all, and we learned we probably needed to set them up. And so last year we set up the teams, and they're set up again this year. So you don't have to go out there and set up your own team. You just need to go to the website, search your name of your chapter, and you can find your team and register and sign up that way. One thing that we're doing more active this year, as we learned from last year, is that one of the better ways where some of the chapters that raised the most money or had success raising money had an alumni or other person who was helping the chapter contact individuals that they knew. And we called them ambassadors last year, and we're trying to push more ambassadors this year. The ambassadors, which mostly are alumni, now some can be collegiates this year, but most of them are alumni, have access to some data and materials to utilize to help ensure that we can target the right alumni in your chapters. And so right now our goal is to try to get at least 50 ambassadors so far. I think we have between 10 and 20 right now, and we're working at the lead schools that just happened in Chicago, and the one that's coming up in Atlanta, and the other one that's going to be out west. we're going to work on those as well to raise more awareness of the ambassadors. And if those who want to be an ambassador, please contact Shanda, and she can get you on the list. And we're going to, at the end of the month, we're going to do an ambassador training session on October 25th, specific to them, to help them gather some of the information that they can use to target specific alumni and work with the chapters so they can raise more money for their chapter. Another thing that's really cool that we've been successful at, and Janine, our executive vice president of the Leadership Foundation, is working on it right now, along with Shanda, is to try to get matching and challenge gifts from alumni and other members of Delta Sigma Pi before this event starts. And our goal is to get to around $30,000 of matching gifts right when we start. And we have 15 to 17,000 right about now of alumni that have agreed to do a match. And matches come in different ways. We had some last year that between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. for everybody who made a donation, this brother was match the first $1,000 to a specific fund for everybody that gave at that late hour in the day. I've done ones before for my specific chapter, Epsilon Rho, and said that the first $1,000 that they raise, I'll match that $1,000 as well. So if they raise 700, I'll give them 700 as well. So we've got several brothers from different chapters all over the country that we're reaching out to try to match. And so this could be an idea for you to talk to some of your brothers and maybe or alumni, maybe they would want to do a match as well. Why should chapters participate? Well, this is pretty self-explanatory, but really it's to fundraise for their chapter leadership funds. Many of you, I saw some of you at Grand Chapter Congress in Houston, and many of the chapters that were there, the brothers that were there, were able to go there because they had funds in their chapter leadership fund. The second thing is to reach out to alumni from their chapter to provide them an update on the chapter activities. So you can, by doing this, chapters can really give the alumni an update of what you guys are doing. I received some emails last year from my home chapter that asked me to donate, but then it also said we've done X, Y, and Z. We've got 62 brothers. We've done these different events. This is just a little update on our chapter. And oh, by the way, could you give to our foundation or to the chapter leadership fund? And then also just supports the mission of Delta Sigma Pi. So those are some of the reasons why chapters should participate. A cool thing that we had last year that we're continuing this year is that we're doing some chapter incentives. So a little competition between the chapters. And so we broke out the chapters between smaller ones. We called it Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. So 25 and less, then 26 to 50 members and greater than 51 members, or we're going to put the chapters in those buckets. And the top 2 fundraising chapters in those buckets will get an additional donation put into their chapter leadership fund, another $500 donation that will be donated by an alumni that we're working on to secure who that will be. So, but we will guarantee that will happen, and we're excited to be able to offer that incentive again this year. All right, so what are some best practices to promote your Founders Day Challenge page? So we're going to do this page here, then the next slide is going to be called Sean's tips to do right away for the Founders Day. But the first one is, and Christian talked a little bit about this, is that if you can give, maybe each brother can give $19.07, support the Founders Day Challenge with a gift, and 1907 is one of the options we have. It's not a lot, but if you have a whole bunch of brothers that give 1907, that alumni may see that, oh my gosh, they've raised $400 already from brothers giving 1907. I'm going to give 200, or I'm going to give 500, or I'm going to match, so that could get other people involved. The more money you raise, it kind of raises eyebrows and makes people want to give as well. Work with your chapter to educate them on what the Founders Day Challenge is and how it will benefit their chapter. So those of you that are on this webinar are probably going to be more educated than others. And you're going to need to go back there and educate the brothers on the Founders Day Challenge and how it can benefit the chapter. Ask 10 Delta SIGs to support the foundation. You can go back and talk to your brothers of your chapter to get them involved. Reach out to your network before the Founders Day Challenge and let them know that it's going to happen. I've got a network of alumni that I'm going to be sending out emails to, text messages, phone calls, seeing them in person over the next few weeks to remind them that, hey, November 7th and 8th is coming up, and I'm going to need you to maybe give your donation. My college roommate was a brother of Delta SIG, and he lives in Miami, and I will reach out to him and see how he's doing, see how his family's doing, and then I'm going to say, hey, the chapter's having their challenge again. I just want to make sure you're going to get an email, make sure you see it, and I'll let you know you need to give. And he's like, thank you for reminding me. I'll give again. So little things like that, prepping now helps for the future. And then follow up like I just did there. Follow up with your network during the campaign dates as well to remind people that if they haven't made a gift, maybe they need to make a gift. So Sean's tips here of things to do before the challenge starts. And these are really important things that you need to do. And some of these you need to do like right now. So I would, for the chapter members on here, is that you should be able to go, if you haven't already gone to the webpage, you should go to the webpage, find your chapter team, and immediately start adding pictures to it, personalizing it. Put a nice picture from initiation, after initiation of all your chapter members on there. Put some social activities, some fun things, professional events, whatever you have. Add pictures to your page so your alumni, when they come to the page, they can see what your chapter's done. And you can do that immediately. I would also go out there and update and set up your chapter fundraising goal. I think we may have pre-populated a goal for you, but you can go in there and change that and raise that up higher if you want to. And you can also change it throughout the challenge. So if you put $2,000 as your goal and you raise $2,000 on the 7th of November and you've got another day left, let's make it 3,000 or let's make it 4,000 and keep the goal. You can keep adjusting the goal up as you go. Partner with an active, well, actually get all of your brothers, the pledges and active alumni to sign up to your chapter page immediately. So we want to make sure you get everyone signed up immediately. Right now we have 270, I think it's 273, and maybe a little bit higher than that now, brothers that are already signed up. Last year we only had 800 or so brothers signed up the whole time. So we're still almost a month, a little less than a month away, and we've almost got a third of what we had signed up last time. And so get everybody to sign up on the page. That enables them to send out emails, to post on social media, so they can tag individuals to ask them for donations when we get to the actual challenge time. Partner with an active alumni of your chapter to assist with the challenge. So it's the chapters that raise the most money kind of did a combination of ways with an alumni, a brother from their chapter who was able to contact their resources, and then also the chapter reaching out to individual brothers as well. My chapter, where I came from, I raised a decent amount of money, but the chapter did a whole bunch of money as well, and they reached out to some alumni that were very that hadn't been haven't heard from the chapter for a long time. They have never given to the foundation, never given to the chapter, and were excited, and kind of they thought it was great that the chapter reached out to them and they gave some money. Now, for every 50 you reach out to, you may get 2 or 3, but at least you get 2 or 3 is better than none that you never had before. Many of your chapters also have an alumni database, and I know many alumni get emails from the vice president of alumni from the chapter or the alumni representative for the chapter that sends out emails and updates on the chapter. And so you've got some database already. Utilize that and make sure you've got that up to date as best you can, so you can reach out to all the brothers from your chapter that way as soon as you can to let them know the challenge is coming. And then ask alumni, your parents, friends, and families to donate, because if you don't ask them, you have a 0 chance of getting any money from them. So if you ask, you may get it, but if you don't ask, you'll never get it. All right. And one chapter last year every brother talked to their parents, and many of the parents gave money as well. And so the chapter raised a whole bunch of money just from parents of brothers and pledges of the chapter. All right, so let's some frequently asked questions. We're almost done with my boring part. We'll get to the fun part of the online demo, but this is kind of a snippet of where you are of the website. And really, it's simple as registering. Get involved, clicking the button on there and registering, like I talked about in my tips. And we're going to read some of these through, because these are some of the questions that we received in the past. And just want to go over some of these answers to these questions. So, will each collegiate chapter have their own fundraising page? I think I've answered that already. Yes, each one has a preset team page already custom built. I want to support my friend's team, but would prefer to donate to a different team than they are supporting. Can I pick which fund I'm supporting? Yes, you can donate to whatever team. Just because you're on one page, one area, you can donate to any fund you want to donate to. I donated to probably 4 different chapters last year. I know other alumni donated to other chapters. I had actually a small chapter out west who only had 7 or 8 brothers, sent out an email to several alumni all over the country, saying that they're a small, kind of struggling chapter. They don't have a lot of alumni. Wanted to know if we could support them, and I got that email and I gave them a donation. And so if you don't ask, you won't never get. What if my chapter is closed? And this is kind of an alumni kind of question. If I was an alumni, what if my chapter is closed? Can I give to another chapter? Of course, you can give to any chapter. And we kind of encourage some chapters, if your chapter is closed for some reason, not in existence anymore, and you're an active alumni, you want to give, maybe give to one of the newer chapters that just was recently initiated, who has a less amount of alumni there. And so your support for them would be very beneficial. What if I want to organize a team to fundraise for the Founders Day Challenge? Is this possible? Of course, of course. There will be other teams out there other than the specific chapter teams. There'll be some alumni chapters. The Leadership Foundation will have a team. The central office staff usually has a team. So there's other teams that get involved as well. So other people can have teams out there as well. Can I join more than one team? This is one thing that happens. Unfortunately, the software doesn't allow this. Brittany, who's going to talk a little bit here in a few minutes about the demo, we haven't been able to make that work. And so that's a area that we haven't been able to overcome yet. So, and can anyone set up their own donation page? Yes, anyone can set up their donation page. Like I noted earlier, register as a participant and get involved. Do you have to be on social media to participate as an ambassador? No. For those alumni who want to do stuff and may not be high into social media, no. You can promote your fundraising page by sending a link to your page. You can do it via email. I was able to do things last year via text. So there's lots of different ways that you can send. You don't have to only use social media. And then if a chapter, because some chapters last year did, because this was around Founders Day, and some people had Founders Day picnics or events or socials, and sometimes they had fundraisers as that where they raise some money. You can also kind of do it offline, and we can account for the money for these events if you do your own fundraising, and we can work through that through the foundation staff to make sure you get credited on your team page, kind of on the back end. For the awards and the credit for that. All right. We are about ready to move into the demo. I'm about ready to turn it over to Brittany. She's smiling there. Are you ready, Brittany?
I am.
All right. All right. Do I need to stop sharing?
Yes, you'll have to stop sharing.
All right, I'm going to stop. There you go. It's all yours.
All right, thank you. I'm Brittany Kiger. I am the executive assistant of the foundation. I do a lot of the background work on this campaign and some other stuff. So I am going to show you the One Cause page, and if you have questions, just you can ask me as we go, or ask at the end, and we can kind of go through that. So one moment. All right. Can everybody see my screen? Okay. So this is our platform that we use. It is called OneCause. We have used this this our 3rd year now using the same software. So if you've used this before, it should be pretty easy. I believe it does populate some of your information, like your account from last year, but you'll have to re-upload pictures and stuff. So on this main page, we have our foundation logo. We talk about the Founders Day Challenge. This is very similar to the information that was just in the PowerPoint. Over here on the side, you'll see the DSP letters. As we reach our goal, it'll fill in with color so we can kind of see where we're at on that. We have the donation portal turned off. So on October 24th, we will turn that back on and we can start receiving donations from there. And there will be a link over here that says make a donation. Down here, it shows you everybody who has already signed up. We already have 359 people signed up. So you can kind of click through some of them and see the different pages, which is a lot of fun. You can search to see, if somebody has signed up yet or not. We talk about the chapter leadership fund. So if you do have a question, like what exactly can we use them for? It is listed on here. We have some pictures. Down here, we will list all of the challenge brothers that Sean had mentioned earlier for the matching gifts and stuff. That will all be down here. All right. We have up here at the top, we have the what's happening. So we have the donor wall. As you make a gift or somebody makes a gift in your honor, it'll show up on here. One thing to remember is if you make 4 $25 gifts, you will only show up in the $25 range. You will not show up in the $100 range. It is not a cumulative total. Unfortunately, that is something that software limitation, and we would love to find a way around that, but we just haven't found that solution yet. We have our leaderboards, which obviously we don't have anything on here yet, but as we start to get donations and people share pages, that will all show up here. The top teams will show on here. One thing that is important to remember is just because somebody has made a donation to your team page does not necessarily mean your CLF has had a donation to it. So for example, say Sean makes a donation to his chapter, but then also donates to every chapter in his province. Very kind of Sean to do that, but yeah. He may show up higher for his team page, but those gifts, will be accounted for at the end. And we will count every gift that comes in. And that does include if somebody makes a gift on our regular donation page, so not through this OneCause site. I do monitor those. Sometimes people don't want to mess with setting this up and they just want to go straight to our regular website where they are familiar and make their gift. I monitor all that. It does get included in the totals. So every chapter will be, if you've received a donation to your CLF, it will count for this during this Founders Day Challenge. We have a gallery. So as people add pictures, we have a nice picture of Trisha and Patrick. Some other, pictures. As people add them, we just continue to grow there. We have a timeline. This shows you, who registers. It's just kind of fun to look through, see the why. Why did Bradley register to be a part of the Founders Day Challenge? What is his reason? We do have the ambassadors and champions listed here. As we add them, just have gotten started on this. This is a new thing. It will show you all of our ambassadors. So if you want to see who are the ambassadors for the Founders Day Challenge, you can go here and see a list of all of these people. So that's kind of nice. And you can reach out to them. And even if they are not an ambassador for your chapter and you do not have an ambassador, they certainly will have knowledge to be able to help you answer questions, anything that you may help, or at least point you in that right direction that you may need. We have our resources here. So there's a how-to guide, so how do you get started, how do you manage your page, all of that is there. We have our toolkit, you can click there. We will also be emailing the toolkit out to all of the participants tonight, and anybody that signs up will get access to that toolkit as well. We have our incentives. I will be listing all of the different tiers and what chapters fall under those tiers, just so you know where exactly does your chapter fall on this incentive, so you can compare for the other chapters in your group. We will be publishing this training right here. There will be the PowerPoint. We will also post the link for this webinar tonight, just so you can reference back if you need to look at it for any reason. This just kind of has about the Founders Day Challenge. We will be listing all of the matching gifts here, so you can see like what day or what time do I need to make a gift to my CLF for it to include, to be included in this. And then we have it's not letting me. We have the Get Involved tab, so you can join as an individual, join as a team. You can also, at any time, you can click here for the CSP Founders Day Challenge, and it'll take you back to the homepage. So if you want to get started, you can go ahead and click this Get Started. If you have already set up your page, you just go into the login and email. But say you want to get started, you want to sign up, either you can link your Facebook or Google or Twitter, or you can sign up using your email. You just put in your contact information. It will, oh, it's going to want me. So you put in your information, all of that. It'll take you up there. You can sign up and set up your page. I will show you here. So if I sign up, this takes me to my page. You can manage your page. So you'll click up here where it has your picture, and you'll see this is my picture from a couple years ago. So it does pull that from year to year. You can set up like what team you would like to join, what your team's fundraising goal is, and I'm not sure, that's a very random amount. You can change your photos, you can customize all of that. You can grow your team. So this is kind of where Sean had talked about recruiting people. You can recruit using text message or Facebook or email. If you have people who are on your team, it'll show everybody up here, and you can send an email to the other team members. This is where you can set up your notifications. So make sure that if you do not want to get an email every time someone joins your team, I believe we have that turned off on our end as well, but let's just, to be safe, if you do not want an email every time somebody joins your team, make sure you click that button. There's some other settings here you can play around with, setting up your page. This is where you kind of talk. This is important to say why are you participating in this campaign? What does this mean to your chapter? How can you share your love for Delta Sig? So one feature you can do is, if you do not, so you have your personal page, but you want to just make it so that your donors, when they go to your page, it just goes to the team page. You can click that, which is kind of nice too. So one important thing, just share your story. What does this organization mean to you? All of those things, the feel good stuff, that is kind of what helps share your story and get some donations for your chapter leadership funds. You can add your photos and pictures, photos and videos. Click here is where you tell your story. If you wanted to host an event, so Sean kind of talked a little bit about that with this being Founders Day. If you have a bake sale to raise money for your chapter, you can set up your event on here. I believe Jim Gerhardt has done some of these with his chapter. They have their event and it links up there, and then it'll also show up on the timeline and the just the overall upcoming events. You can invite your friends to join you. So any of your friends or family, whoever you want to participate in this, you just hit through there. Is there anything on here that I went very quickly through? I'm certain that somebody has questions on, or anything that I can help
Hey,
with.
Brittany, can you show them so when they first get there, where they need to go to find so let's try to find Epsilon Upsilon, because I know they're on. Let's go and try to say they need to get people to sign up. So what do they need to do?
So if you are joining the team, right? So if you sign up and you're ready to join, you can click that join team. And if you scroll down, it will show you all of the teams here. So, we have some teams like the Atlanta Alumni Chapter. Since they are not a collegiate chapter, they did create their own team page. And this kind of Shauna talked about with the trustees may have a page, maybe some other pages outside of the regular collegiate chapter pages.
But can you search for Epsilon Upsilon up in that search button, and then
Yep. And so if you type up here in the search button, it'll click on it, and you can see their goal is 5,000. You can invite friends to join this team page. It talks about, why Epsilon Upsilon wanted to do this. Has all of the contact information. You can see Kristen has already added her information in there. And I know that last year, Kristen had gone through and emailed, leadership and other people to say, hey, we are doing this. Will you make a donation? And it worked. I believe, she was a chapter that received an incentive last year. So, that makes a difference. There are, over here on this side is how you can make the different levels. You do not have to use these. You can make a gift of any amount. So even though it says we have the preset numbers in there, you do not have to do that. There is a way to just, you click in there, you can say other amount and type in your other amount.
So Mary had a question in the chat, says, once someone joins a team, can they invite others? And there's that invite others.
Yep, invite others on that. This little button right here. So you can invite using email or Facebook or Twitter.
It looks like somebody else put in the chat, it's only showing the FDC from 2022 for them. Any suggestions on what someone should do to refresh or update?
Are they, can you just make sure that you are using the correct link? So dsp.org/FDC to make sure that it's the correct year. Maybe perhaps around the wrong campaign year. And if that does not help, reach out to me and we can troubleshoot it together offline if that is helpful. I do not know why that would be pulling up from previous year.
Yeah. I'm putting Brittany's email in the chat for folks.
Can they use what's on the screen, the P2P1 cause /2023 FDC/team?
Yes.
Will that work?
Yep. You can use this
in the link. Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay.
We have any
if you have questions, you're welcome to you can unmute yourself if you have any questions, please.
Brittany, one thing I want you to, there is a place where you can send an email, I believe, out to individuals requesting
the grow your team here.
Well, more or less to ask for donations. I thought it was a canned message when you did the email, invite using email. Does it give? Yeah, there it is.
Yep. So if you go into your manage my page, and mine looks a little bit different because I am the admin for this, but everybody should have a manage my page. You can also view your page. So if you want to see what other people see, you can click on that. So manage my page over here, manage your team, grow your team, and then invite using email. You can put in, there is a limit to how many emails you can put in here. I believe it is probably 20, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I think it was 20.
Don't put 350 of them in there and then get sad. The other option is use your own email address and just link to your page. So everybody has a URL. You can just link to your page in your regular email. But
what I did here, Brittany, if I can jump in. So I took this section here. I made up my own kind of message that, it said, I'm an alumni of the chapter. I'm trying to help the chapter raise money. I'm reaching out to fellow alumni. This link will click on the link and it'll take you to their page where you can make a donation. And then I put in like 20 emails and sent it, and then copied the thing back in there, put in another 20. I probably sent out 600 emails that way. It took me a little time, probably an hour or so of me, sending an email, but I was able to send out like 600 emails to the alumni and probably received $2,000 because of that. And so those are things that the chapters could do as well. If they have an alumni list already with emails, they could send it out that way. And I think that's a bit, and you can customize that message. It kind of gives you a canned message there, but you can go in there and change that message and put whatever you want.
And we do have in the toolkit, we do have some sample messaging in there that you can use to invite others and share on social media and all of that as well. And so if you view your page, this will give you your URL, so you can just copy and paste that and send that out if you need to send it in a way other than, just the way we just talked about. Is there anything?
And I think there's also a way that I was able to text myself last year a link to the page, and then I was able to copy that text and text it to other people right there. So you put in your mobile number, you text me as a sample message, and it sends you it's nice. It's got a little picture of the foundation challenge, and you click on it. I was able to copy that into other text messages and text other people that I had cell phone numbers for, that I knew that were friends of mine, that also was another way to get them to the page, another way to get a link to the page.
So we've got a couple of questions. I'll just kind of keep up with those for us. Lexi asks, does each chapter take away the full donation amount that is donated to their team, or do certain percentages go elsewhere? So 10% of each gift remains with the foundation for administrative and processing fees. The remaining 90% goes in full to the chapter's CLF without any additional fees coming out when you request them or anything additional. And do remember, gifts to the foundation that go to your CLF are tax deductible, whereas gifts directly to your chapter are not tax deductible, if that matters to the donors. So there's one question. Then from Mary Miracle, how do we know who may have already received an invitation from someone else on the team and may not have joined? No need to duplicate efforts.
I do not have a great answer for that. I can check with our software representative to see if she has a way, if there's a way to tell that. I suspect that there probably is not a way to tell, but I can check on that, Mary, and get back to you.
Okay. What other questions do people have?
So
all in all, oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say another thing that we are adding that has not been on here yet. We will have some little badges. So there will be a badge if you're an ambassador. There'll be a badge if you've reached your goal. Just some things that'll be automatically added into your profile as you reach these milestones. So something new this year and maybe a little bit fun. Hopefully we can try to collect as many badges as possible. Yeah.
Great. So Janine and I led this session very similar to this without all the website instruction in Chicago a couple of days ago at the lead. And I was trying to think back to questions people asked on site. And honestly, I think you know, Sean and our Coys and then Brittany going through this really hit most of the areas that people had questions about. So, I'm feeling like everyone's out there probably online setting up their page as we're together here, which is great. But we are here if you have other questions or comments or thoughts.
Or if you need to, if you're setting this page up on another day and you just really need help and need us to walk through this with you, reach out to us. We can certainly schedule a one-on-one meeting with you, or we can screen share. We can go through everything that we need to go through to help you. Just let us know, you know, how we can help.
Yeah. If you're going to be in Atlanta this weekend, I will be there along with some of our trustees. You know, and if you have questions, we can talk about it there. There will be other representatives in Denver. Janine will be there, as well as some other trustees. So, you know, there will be some face-to-face opportunities if you do have some questions. But again, you can always email or call or whatever works best. We just want to help you raise money. We want you to have lots of dollars so that you can attend more and do more and really enjoy the Delta Sig experience overall.
One thing, in the hub, all chapters have access to a radius report that will show you alumni within, I believe it's 25 miles of your chapters of your school. If you need additional information, a further list, you can contact the central office and we can certainly send you whatever list that you need to kind of help aid your, you know, efforts here, your fundraising efforts. If you need a full list of all alumni from your chapter, we can provide that for you. Just let us know how we can help, and somebody from our office can get you any information you need.
Well, if there's no more questions, I think Shanda's got her contact out there. We can wrap up.
We put Brittany's info out there. If you need help with the site, central office at dsp.org to request a full alumni list. You know, myself, Shanda at dsp.org. Anybody, you can find all of our addresses on the website as well. There we go.
I'm trying to get it up. There we go.
Yeah,
all right. And then, so just the final closing, if no one has any questions, just the things I think we can, for those on here, can do immediately is like get your team page set up, get some pictures, personalize it, and get your brothers to sign up. You know, get everybody to sign up. Have it at your next meeting. Have it, you know, take 10 minutes and everybody go ahead and try to get signed up. So they're already on the website. They're signed up. They're registered, and they can send out those emails to their parents, to their friends, to other alumni they know, their grandparents. I know my son's a brother of the fraternity, and he sent it to his grandparents, and his grandparents gave him money for it. So to the chapter. So they kind of, grandparents like to do that. So that's that. And then the last thing is, if you don't ask someone for money, you're not going to get it. So ask 100 times and you'll get 5 people to give you, you know, and that's better than getting nothing. So, and if there's no further questions, I think we're done. So thank you very much. And we hope to have a successful, reach our goal of 116,000 plus. And we got a month to do it. So thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.